The technique used here is called shaping. Shaping, or as it is formally known, shaping by successive approximations, simply means breaking down a behavior into tiny increments and reinforcing the dog at each incremental step until you've achieved the full behavior. Step 1. Nose to door. I started the shaping process by prompting the first step of the desired behavior. I tapped the door, causing my dog Yuka to sniff it. Another way to do it would be to rub a smelly treat on the door to cause your dog to sniff and touch their nose to the door. Mark the moment that your dog touches their nose to the door with either a dog training clicker or a verbal marker word such as yes. Immediately deliver a treat after you mark the desired behavior. Step 2. Reward for door movement. In the next clip, Yuka accidentally pushes the door harder than usual and causes movement in the door. As soon as this happens, reward your dog with a treat jackpot. A jackpot is simply a delivery of many treats. Anytime you give your dog a jackpot of treats, you are increasing the chances of them repeating the behavior that got them the most treats. This is how we communicate that we like what they just did.
Yes, good girl.
She is moving the door very slightly, but she's
Yes,
intentionally
good
putting more
girl.
pressure on the door. Here, she doesn't put any pressure on the door and just touches her nose to it like before. I will reward her with one treat here since she is trying, and only reward her with a treat jackpot when she makes the door move. Multiple treats for a true push of the door. A single treat for just a nose touch or a weak push.
Yes, good girl.
Multiple treats for good door movement.
Get it.
Give even more treats when
Yes,
the biggest
good
push
girl.
happens. Step 3. Treat as the door taps closed. Open the door just a tiny crack to increase your dog's chances of making the door clank closed to the door frame. Once that happens, reward with a jackpot anytime the door makes a tapping or clanking sound.
Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl.
As your dog starts to understand that they get the most treats when the door clanks
Yeah,
closed,
good
then begin to
puppy.
only reward them for closing, but not yet latching the door. Slowly open the door further and further so they have to push more and more to reach that point.
Yeah, good girl.
The next clip is a pivotal moment in the training. You can see that Yuka is starting to understand that I want her to close the door all the way in order to get her treat. This is halfway through her third 10-minute training session.
Yes, good girl. Very good. You did that. Okay, come on. Yes, good girl, Yuka. Nice. Yes, very good. Yay, that was really good.
It is here during her third 10-minute training session that she finally begins to push the door completely closed. Notice I have still not yet added a verbal cue. I want to be sure that she will close the door all the way 90% of the time before I add a verbal cue.
close the door? Yes, very good. Close the door. Yes, very good. Come here. Keep that. Good.
Step 4. Proof the behavior. Begin proofing the behavior by stepping further away from the door when you say your command. Even this subtle change can throw off your dog, so take it slow.
You can close the door. Yes, very good. Close the door. Yeah, good girl.
Try asking your dog to close the door without pointing at it to test their verbal cue recognition.
Close the door. Yes, very good.
Ask them to close the door while standing in different places around the room. If you only
Yes,
practice the
good
command when
girl.
you are standing right next to the door, then they will only be able to perform the trick with you in that one place.
Go get it. You can close the door. Yes, good girl.
Finally, move on to practicing the command using different doors in your house. If you want your dog to be able to close doors in a public place, then you will need to practice the same exercise in a more distracting outdoor environment. Always remember to lower your expectations when moving a trick to a more distracting environment, and don't be surprised if you have to go back a few steps and reteach them. Using this technique of shaping, Yuka learned to close the door in 4 5 to 10 minute sessions on 4 separate days. It does not take massive amounts of time to train your dog cool things. All it takes is a bit of know-how, some patience, consistency, and a positive mindset. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, in order to keep these videos coming, please subscribe, thumbs up, comment, or share. Until next time, good luck and happy training!